Hi.
How is everyone today?
Good. How are you?
It's great. It's Monday, the 17th of January, 2022. It's Awesome Anime, episode 3, technically.
Yay. I love this show. This is so great. I just realized I had my D&D dice
Your
all over the
dice.
desk. So
You
I'm
only
like,
roll 20s?
Yeah, I gotta put these away. Sorry. Okay, there we go.
I only roll 20s. This week, we are dealing with Ninja Scroll 1993. And it's so bizarre because it's like, to me, I haven't watched this for 15 years.
Me too.
Probably.
It's been a long time.
I remember some of it because some of it's pretty shocking at times, so it kind of sticks with you.
Mhm.
But it was just like, wow, this could have been made today. by an unwoke, like by a studio is just going, fuck you.
Oh yeah,
This is just, and it'd be like, whoa, this is
I mean,
kick-ass.
it I don't know if you guys have seen what was it?
Hold on,
Castlevania.
hold your thought. Let's do some intros.
Okay.
Let's do some intros because we want to touch on something else as well before we get into this one. So hold that thought. Bring it back. Okay. But let's introduce the co-host. My name, of course, is Az. I'll be your compare for the evening. Your master of ceremonies. And DMs are open. They're not, and they never will be. First guest co-host, Nina Infinity. How you doing, Nina? How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here. I love this show because I love anime, especially classic anime. So I'm very excited to be here. You can find me on my channel, Nina Infinity, where I talk about all sorts of stuff, including Clown World stuff, good news on Fridays, and entertainment stuff on Sundays. And you can keep track of where I'll be on my Twitter, Nina7Infinity. Thank you. I'll be on Toxic Femme later tonight. Thank you.
And please, folks, the links to everyone's channel, including the people who aren't here, are in the description box down below. So to subscribe to Nina's channel, just go to the description box down below, click the link, subscribe. Same with Literature Devil. Please go to his channel as well. Whack a subscription to him too. These people produce some wonderful stuff. And speaking of Literature Devil, how the literature devil are you?
Very clever. Doing pretty good. Good. And this is the first time I watched Ninja Scroll. So it was a refresher. Okay. It was really nice compared to what we've been spoon fed, all this sanitized, bland,
very sanitized,
tasteless stuff. So this is very tasty and delicious.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into it all. But speaking of sanitized, Nina, can you just drop that article?
Oh yeah,
to share again before we get into I was gonna say Nina Scrolls.
Whoa!
Until we get into Ninja Scroll, we're gonna touch on Demon Slayer for a smidgen, because some people are having a little bit of a cry of a little change. Well, not change, but sort of like something, in Demon Soul. Bring it up, Demon Soul. I've got fucking
Demon Slayer.
All kinds of video games going on in my head right now.
Like Dark Souls, but like
Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Demon Scrolls,
whatever.
Ninja Demon Scrolls. So in Demon Slayer, Nezuko is 15, she's 14. I don't know how old she is. How old, does anyone know how old she is?
I don't know exactly how old she is. I think she's 16 actually, like when she turns into a demon. But when you turn into a demon, you're kind of like, you change. You're not a child anymore. So, but her body is like a 16-year-old or something.
I'm about halfway through the first season.
I just finished the first season myself.
Okay, I just got to like the spiders in the forest bit. And I have no idea how old she is, or how old he is, or how old anyone is.
No, it's not very clear.
And they say Nezuko received a big power up in the recent episode. But apparently not every Demon Slayer fan is okay with Nezuko's revealing dress. Fans took to Twitter. Oh, Jesus. You know when I hear that? It's like an anti-war cry.
Yeah.
It's like I just imagine a gaggle of Karens flocking to the manager's office. That's how I see this. I don't see this as anything.
Took to Twitter.
Yeah.
Took to Twitter. That's like their platform of,
their righteous indignation.
It makes it sound like there's like some huge moral outcry. They just had to morally object to something.
Yes.
It's time to go to war.
Object to somebody having a cleavage. Fans took to Twitter to express their disappointment. Read here. No, I'm okay. I'm good. And then somebody's actually responded with anime becoming mainstream was a mistake. I don't think that it's necessarily anime becoming mainstream. I think it's more I legitimately think it's because entertainment's so poor and people are looking around for different sources of entertainment. They're gravitating more to these things like anime and whatnot, which do tend for the most part to be non-woke.
Oh, this happens a lot where they get angry at anime for a variety of things. How come when it was The Last Jedi and we got angry, it was because it was meaningful and thematic and intelligent and smart. But when they get angry, it's because it was wrong. Why is that the case? What's the difference here?
I don't know. I have a bit of a different take than you, as I feel like I don't like that it's becoming mainstream. I guess I'm a Puritan. I think that it's just like, I feel like it's gonna become like Lord of the Rings, where Lord of the Rings was for geeks and nerds. The books were great. Everyone was like, yeah, this is great. We're all on the same page. And then it became a movie, and then it became mainstreamed. And then now fast forward to today's age, and look what they're doing to it.
Do you
So
think,
I feel like that's going to happen to anime.
Do you think a fair bit of it, though, is fake fandom?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And that's exactly what these people are. Fans who took to Twitter. Like, no real fans taking to Twitter to complain about Nezuko's low-cut dress. But that's not happening.
It's really kind of unfortunate. It's kind of the negative blowback of things going mainstream, because before you didn't really need the idea of gatekeeping. You really need any of that, because before there was no actual advantage you can gain by saying I'm a fan of Star Wars, I'm a fan of this, or I'm a fan of that.
Exactly.
All you had was passion. That's all you had to do. Like, I'm a fan of this. Why are you a fan of this? Because I like it. Now it's I'm a fan of Star Wars. Why? Because I get free power if I say I'm a fan of Star Wars. I get noticed. I get free voice.
In my case, it was totally different, Literature Devil. Like, I couldn't even admit I was a fan of anime, because back then you would get bullied for being an anime fan.
Exactly. There was,
There's
no reason to say you were, unless you actually were legitimately a fan of something.
Yeah, I mean, that could translate to pretty much any geeky fandom.
Absolutely.
When I used to collect comics, I used to.
It was hush hush.
Do it on the download. If my friends at school found out I collected comics, then
you nerd.
I'd be absolutely mercilessly ridiculed. Same with when I used to love buying Transformers and stuff like that. Lego.
Oh yeah, Lego.
At 14 years old, some of the boys in my class were discovering ladies, well, girls, I guess. When I was 14, I was wanting the Lego police station for my birthday. Thank you very much indeed. That'd be great. I thought my dick was just used for pissing out of. That's all I needed to know. I think any sort of fandom you could add to that sort of collective. Now, you might be wondering, folks, why have you decided to open up this episode of Awesome Anime just talking about a little bit of cleavage on an anime character? Isn't this a bit of a storm in a teacup, a bit of nothing? is this an outrage or whatever about SJWs? Let's have a shout. No, the reason why we decided to open up with this is because if this is the kind of thing that you get upset about, holy shit, Ninja Scrolls is going to fuck you up for life.
Yeah, okay? Don't watch. Your eyes will bleed and you'll want to
their heads will pop like a balloon.
Yeah, you are in for a rough awakening. It's going to be like what's Majiggy at the end of Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. Because Ninja Scroll is a very, very adult anime, unapologetically so, and it deals with very adult themes, and it don't tiptoe it. It does not tiptoe. It's just presented as the creators dictated, I guess. And it's to me a complete breath of fresh air. Because I found that this was just a really, I mean, fun is not quite the right, I guess fun is the kind of word though. If there was a non-woke corporation that just gave no fucks and put this out today, this would be like blow everyone's mind.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was like saying earlier. Like, if I don't know if you guys have seen Castlevania on Netflix, but like that's like kind of like a very similarly themed, like in terms of like sexuality and violence and gore and like things like that. Like kind of like that. I think that that's pretty much as bad, like as crazy as it's gonna get when it comes to these kind of like themes in anime. I don't know if you'll ever get anything close to Ninja Scroll, because Ninja Scroll is a movie that's like 2 hours long and you have all these different characters and you have all these different things happening. So for that, like I think that what they achieved was masterful. Like the storyline, the storyboarding, like just everything, to put so much content in like the span of whatever, many hours it was. I think maybe close to 2 hours. Was
around that, yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Just 2 hours. This went past in a blink of an eye when I watched it.
It went so fast because I was just like, it was so crazy because last night I finished my stream with Gary, like The Expanse. We went for 3 hours and I was like so tired. And I'm like, oh no, I have to watch this anime. And then I was like, I'm so gonna pass out. This is not like, I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna put it in, and I was just gonna pass out. And then I didn't. I was so engrossed, like I was just so into it that like I did not sleep until.
Well, Ninja Scroll is one of those stories. It's pretty well paced and everything. So it's one of those stories that actually, what I like to call, used every part of the animal. There was no portion where it's like it turned to the camera and said, "Here are the themes." Or there's no Canto Bite section. It's always, it does what it's supposed to do. The writers of that movie did exactly what writers are supposed to do. Every single second was moving the plot along, moving the story along. We had the introduction. We had the introduction of the main character. We had the introduction of the plot. We had the introduction of the bad guys, the elements involved. Every single time, every single minute that passed, it produced the story. The plot was moved along. Something was developed. The characters, everything. It was really interesting. So that's how they're supposed to go. That's the old pulp method of writing. Also, was every single word moves the story along, moves the plot along, which is highly opposed to what we have today, which is, okay, here's a little bit of story and here's some crying and some hugging, and then we can move on.
Which is exactly what was happening with The Expanse. So here I am reviewing a show that's like, modern day show or whatever, which is exactly the opposite of everything you just said. And then I'm like, and then I get this story right after, and I'm like, see, this is how you tell a story. Like, wow, 2 hours and all, like, because there's so many moving parts to the story, and you're trying to keep up with everything. And like, just when you're like, oh, I've been introduced to all the characters, it's like, here's another character, here's another character, here's another character, and you're just like continuously keeping up with it. And it's so well done too.
Yeah, I mean, it starts off on what you think is a relatively simple story. A village appears to have a plague.
Oh yeah, pandemic or epidemic. They were talking about,
which kind of, as soon as I heard
thematic,
it's been a while since I've seen it. So when it started with that, I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, me too. I forgot.
Can't escape pandemics wherever you go. It's just everywhere. So it starts off as if there's a plague running through some local villages, and there's a group of bad guys who are kind of going through these villages and whatnot. And then we have like a lord who sends his ninjas out to discover what the problem is. And then things just get turned up to 11. And this is within the first 10 minutes. Yeah, it's just like this. It treats you as if you are an intelligent watcher, and you don't need to be handheld through this. You don't need to be overtly explained through exposition on what's going on. It's trusting you as an intelligent viewer to say, right, we're throwing you into this plot. buckle up.
Yep.
Buckle up, pay attention. You'll kind of get the gist. If you miss a couple of things, don't worry about it, because it'll become quite apparent. And so it was just like great, because what started out as these ninjas going off to scout out the village, try and find out what they can about the plague and whatnot, and then getting attacked by a couple of people. I mean, even though it's just like the stone guy who becomes the first antagonist, there was also the other guy with all the, webs or whatever you want to,
the strings,
the
or
string,
whatever,
that he would wave through everything. So he had a network. But we just see like this massive display of violence to start off with. People getting ripped in half, and
awesome.
This, that, and the other, and then
his arms ripped off, he drinks the blood. That was great.
Yeah, who you think is you think this guy is going to be maybe one of the main guys?
Yeah, you think he's going to be one of the main characters, and then he's like brutally murdered, and you're like, God damn, holy shit.
Yeah, just has his arms ripped off, and then just like the guy just like guzzles his blood.
Dude, that scene and the scene right after. I remember the first time that I watched it. Like I said, I was really young. I think I was like 13, 14 when I watched that the first time, and then I was like I was literally like, and then I had to shut it off. Like after, like when that scene happens with the girl like in the house, I couldn't watch it. Like I had to shut it off because it was like one of my biggest fears, like watching it happen. And I was like I can't handle this. I think I had an SJW moment, but I was like 14. I was too young. I shouldn't have watched that movie.
Well, to be fair, SJWs, no matter how old they get, always have the mentality of like 13, 14-year-olds. So.
Yeah, but I went back.
If I just share my screen, this will kind of explain what's nearly happening. Okay, this is from Elon Musk from earlier.
But the joke's on the stone guy. He gets horribly poisoned.
It did happen. What do you mean nearly? It totally happened.
Well, I mean, there wasn't
He stuck his tongue in there, dude.
He did stick with you. Yeah, there was an assault.
There was several assaults.
There was definitely an assault. But that scene proves to be very interesting for later on. Because as the ninjas are dispatched, and what's in it? Kigaro, that's the name. Kigaro is and dispatched as a ninja among them. She's the master of poisons.
Well, hang on, you're missing an important part.
The poison taster.
She's the poison taster. She wasn't dispatched. She volunteered.
She volunteered. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of cutting a couple of bits short there, but
that's an important part for her character development, because I think that she, like, the fact that she chose to go is like says a lot about her as a person, because she could have just stayed behind and been the poison taster and not done anything. But she was clearly in love with that guy, the one that got murdered. And I think that she wanted to like save him, and she wanted to protect him, and it just shows how brave she was, that she was like willing to do this and throw her life away. And like that scene where she cuts her hair, like that was a really powerful scene, because she's she's giving up her status, she's giving up like everything she is, and her security and all that stuff, to go and be part of this band of like ninjas so that she can protect her clan. And I think that was really powerful.
And she wanted to she was unsatisfied with her role as poison taster, and she wanted to get satisfaction. She was looking for something that would feel meaningful. And the whole thing was, she thought she would be satisfied being part of the boys, being one of the guys who goes out on missions and does things. Didn't work out too well. It was very overwhelming. And then it was very overwhelming for her, especially because of all the stuff that happens. And then I like the ending of her arc, which is she didn't feel satisfaction until she finally felt satisfaction as a woman. Until a big, strong man treated her as a woman instead of like a ninja or a poison taster, where she felt human again. That's where
she was. She hadn't been. Her femininity had never been realized,
because it couldn't, because
but because not just because she was part of this whole thing, but she was this poison taster, master of poisons, whatever you want to call it, and she was literally poison herself. So she could never and I know this is soppy, people, but hey, men and women, they kind of like each other. This was somebody who would never be able to feel the embrace of a man, the warm embrace of a man, because even the potential of a kiss could kill them.
Yeah.
And so when you have that, it must be so difficult to keep your emotions in check, because you are not wanting to fall in love with somebody. You're not wanting to have romantic feelings towards somebody because of what it could lead to, the temptation, yada, yada, yada. And so she is, I know, lies. I know I'm telling lies, men and women, lies, I tells thee. So yeah, it was, she was very guarded throughout the whole film, until the character would leave the screen, and then she would actually, show some emotion herself, because she could allow herself in private to feel that way.
I love that scene where she just she's like, I don't need anyone. And she's like telling, and he's like, are you okay? Like, you just went through like something really traumatic. And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, get out of here. And like, he like leaves. And then she like makes sure he's gone. And then she like literally like falls to her knees and starts bawling her eyes out. Cause that's exactly like how I was feeling watching it. So I'm like, I can't imagine being her and, like going through something like that is so traumatic, and then you don't want to tell anyone because you want to still be that strong person that you don't want people to think you're weak or whatever. And it was so real, it was so raw. I loved it.
But because the rock monster had kissed her, he had unwillingly or unknowingly poisoned himself,
and he stuck his tongue up there.
Concerning all he does is he got really poisoned. He must have been really, really poisoned.
Yeah,
he's been like half poisoned by that at that point.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't say I'm feel any sympathy for him.
I mean, in a way, I feel like if that happened to me and like I had that power and I knew that guy was gonna die, I wouldn't cry. Let's just say that. I just feel like, you're so gonna die in 5 minutes.
Well, it's not just that though. It's the fear of him. This. I mean, look at the guy. The guy was
still gonna happen. Yeah,
and so terrifying. Imposing and scary, and you've also seen what he's just done to your friend,
the other guy. Yeah.
By the way, the opening scene with the ninjas and the rock guy, that is an essential part of the narrative, because what it's doing is that this rock guy, we'll find out, is part of like the 8 devils of what, Kimino or something.
Yeah.
What that opening scene does with the ninjas is do something very, 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 very necessary in the story, as in the test to how well this is crafted. We need to establish as early on as possible the threat of the bad guys. Yeah. And this guy is just one of the eight devils, and this guy just wiped out an entire brigade of ninjas without breaking a sweat.
Yeah.
So even though after he dies, we know that the other 8 devils or the other 7 devils must be at least on par, if not better than this guy, because he was like an underling compared to the other guys.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy was terrifying in terms of strength. He almost kills the main character when they meet again. And this is the guy that they fight first of all, and he's just an underling. So how tough are the other guys? So this really establishes and implies the strength of the other guy, or the other devils, and then this one. So yeah, and from that point on, we know exactly the threat level where they're dealing with, and they're actually terrifying. They do a really good job making the bad guys all very, very scary and terrifying in terms of what the threat level is. And as opposed to the things like we see today, where how they establish threat levels by having the bad guy cry or something, or go or to throw a tantrum or something. That's how it's done today. In the era of Ninja Scroll, they established threat by having him massacre an entire brigade of ninjas.
Yeah, who are like bouncing through the trees like it's nothing.
Yeah.
When they're throwing the shuriken, it's literally like they're firing bullets because they're so quick.
By the way, these are Koga ninjas, which means these are guys. They're not just like weekend warriors. These guys were raised from birth to be ninjas.
Yeah, and the other thing that exactly what you're talking about, Literature Devil, because in that scene, like it also shows another one of those, like the ninjas that's like in the tree that like Az was talking about, because like there's somebody else there like as backup just in case that guy does feel like he I don't know, whatever, for whatever, he was there. And so was the other guy, the old dude. He was there too, and he was watching the whole thing. And I was like, dude, this old fucker, like he almost let that girl get raped and didn't do anything about it. I didn't like that old dude.
No, the old man, he's very morally ambiguous.
Yeah.
He would quite happily have sacrificed her to have her poison him, and then he maybe would have finished him off later.
Yeah.
He's going to kill the main character.
He might have just died on his own because of the poisoning, and so job done for that one. But yeah, he poisons Jubei with the Morning Star to make sure that he helps him kill the rest of the demons, the seven devils, whatever. So this is a person who is,
he's so morally ambiguous that when he told him what the cure was, I was like, well, what if he's like lying and he's just trying to kill the guy? And he's like, yeah, go sleep with this girl so that, you get poisoned even more and then you die. Like, I couldn't even believe him because he was such a liar at that point. Like, you don't know what to believe.
2 seconds, I got a delivery at the door.
Go,
just hold the phone for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I was like, do I believe this guy right now? I don't know. He's pretty morally ambiguous. I feel like maybe he could be lying. I don't know.
He was what's it called? Oh yeah, he was I think he was like a spy master or something like that for the Shogun. He was for the Shogun, for the Tokugawa government. So the plot was that the 8 devils were working for this shadow Shogun. Oh no. Yeah, I think something like that.
Yeah, they were working for like the main guy. I forget his name right now, but
the Shogun of Darkness or something like that.
The Shogun of the Dark.
But they're trying to restore the Toyotomi family, which is during the big clash of clans, during the struggle. It was like the Tokugawas versus the Toyotomi, the Hideyoshi Toyotomi people, and so of course the Tokugawa was the winner. And if you notice, it's a Tokugawa regime. It's by the way, this is during the same era of Japan as Lone Wolf and Cub. And if you read Lone Wolf and Cub, it's very, very similar to the feel of Ninja Scroll. Like both Ninja Scroll and Lone Wolf and Cub, they both have a very like life is cheap. They both do a very good job at showing how bleak and dark and sad the era of Tokugawa was. Like if you're not the strongest, you're basically you're gonna die.
Yeah, like the feudal era stuff, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's very good.
And Lone Wolf and Cub, it has a very strong feel of Ninja Scroll to it, except it's a samurai and it's
what is this one called again?
Lone Wolf and Cub. It's a very popular, like legendary manga series. They made live action movies.
I've watched the movies, like the classic movies. I've watched those.
I like them a lot, but then I read the manga, and now I know the manga's way better.
Really?
Way better.
I've never read the manga for those.
It's really good.
Movies. I fucking love the movies. They're so good.
The manga's way better. I mean, it's
really?
They go through so much stuff. It's incredible. And it does a really good job at showing the bleakness and it's basically almost Kafka-esque. Like it's almost like trying to better your lot in life is almost futile in Lone Wolf and Cub. And it's basically the amount of brutality and unapologetic violence and everything that you see in Ninja Scroll. I mean, there's like weird stuff that happens. Like, for example, the writer of Ninja Scroll clearly had like a urine fetish because he kept having people drink women's urine. It's kind of gross. And there's grape in there to quite a bit of an extent. There's all kinds of things happening. The main character kills a Buddha because he's just a living Buddha because he's so morally ambiguous. Like he got hired to kill a living Buddha. And the idea in Ninja Scroll was that the clan found a gold mine and hired the main character to kill all the government officials, I think, so that the clan could keep the gold mine secret from the government. Because if they found out that they were hiding a gold mine, they would lose their family would be dissolved, which is a huge fear in the Tokugawa era.
Yeah,
and that happens a lot in Lone Wolf and Cub, where the main character gets hired to assassinate something or someone in order to protect a clan, and it's not always the good guys hiring him. Sometimes the bad guys, and he has to go kill good guys. It just depends on what he wants to do, and because Lone Wolf and Cub is about revenge, he wants to get back at the Yagyu, and so it's very similar in tone and theme to Ninja Scroll a lot of times.
But didn't you like the little homage to those great samurai westerns because when they sort of had a little bit of a retrospective at Jubei's past, we kind of got it in black and white.
Oh yeah,
it kind of had that wolf and cub feel to it, and I just thought that was just nicely just very quickly and easily told about betrayal and then Cat getting his revenge. But those people who are dead don't necessarily stay dead, because this is a supernatural world, and in the supernatural world people can come back. And
that guy was like immortal. Like there was no killing that guy
well, they used resurrection magic on him.
Well, it's so weird because I don't like, even in the end, you're kind of left with like, is he really dead? Because you can see his like, gold corpse like going down into the ocean.
Well,
but,
he's like trapped in there. It's horrific.
I don't think he's dead though. I think he's just like trapped.
Trapped in gold.
Yeah, he's trapped in gold. Like, I think his consciousness is still there
at the bottom of the ocean, and that's just a hideous.
Pretty much, yeah. As the same thing happens, or something similar happens in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's like this vampire becomes like the ultimate being, immortal and pretty much invincible, and they are able to launch him into space. Is how they beat him, and then he just drifts through space for eternity.
So it's like the Phantom Zone type of business.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, or it's just, and they're immortal. Like in both instances, though, the villain's immortality becomes their curse. They thought it was an awesome blessing, but then eventually becomes their curse.
Yeah, I like that about this show too, because I was like, how are you gonna fucking kill this guy? And then I was like, oh, he died from his own gold. Ha ha ha.
Also, like how I want to mention that, like how honorable Jubei is in some respects, or a lot of respects, and you don't really get that in modern day heroes anymore, where they will do self-sacrifice today. I mean, they won't do sacrifice. Really, they won't be as willing to do like proper self-sacrifice. Like with them, for example, one of the biggest opportunities of this was when the ninja girl offers to sleep with him in order to cure his poison, and then he hugs her as if, yeah, okay, we'll do this, but then he just turns away because he feels that it's wrong.
Okay, that's interesting. The way that I saw that was she, the old man told her the only way to get rid of Jubei's poison is to sleep with him, because you are poison. So
I thought he was lying.
You're poison. I thought he was lying
too.
No, I totally think he was lying, but this is what he told to her. Your poison will negate his poison. And when she came to give herself to him, she wanted to sleep with Jubei.
Yeah, she did. Absolutely.
She was falling in love with Jubei. And when Jubei held her close, I think this is the way that I interpreted, feel free if you've got a different interpretation. But when Jubei was holding her close, I thought he was literally giving her what she needed, which was that arm around, that physical contact, and the embrace, which she just hadn't had her whole life. She suddenly, because as soon as she goes into his body, I know it's soppy and it's great and I fucking love it.
It's so good though.
But she just melts. She just goes,
absolutely,
because she's needed it so much. She's
it's
just
not
needed
even at
to have
first,
that embrace.
though. It's not even at first, and that's how perfect it is. Because at first she's like all like scared, and she's just like, kind of like in his arms, like for the first time, like kind of like, understanding like, how does this really feel? And then he finally embraces her, and then she's like,
goes, when he's holding her, and it's real.
I thought the same thing as you too, but like I thought of it as like it was the first time that she was willing to give herself to another man, like willingly, but also that man was like, and it goes to show how honorable Jubei was that he was like, even though I like really like her and I want to bang her kind of thing, he was like, I think that right now, I don't want to use you. I don't want you to think that the first time we're gonna do it is because I want to save my life.
Like, I need something from you.
I don't want to
exactly what I mean.
I don't want to take that. I don't want to be that person because everybody else has been that person for you that forces you to do things, or wants to grape you or whatever, like all these different things. And he's like, I'm gonna be the opposite of that. I'm gonna give you that masculine, not the toxic masculinity, but the the healthy kind.
Yeah, the idea was that he if he wanted to heal himself, he sleep with her, whatever. But his honor, at least what was left of it, was an instance of he doesn't want to be. He would do this in a circumstance where he would use her.
Yeah,
but he healed himself at the end by kissing her
because that's what she desperately wanted.
So
the
old man actually was correct.
But it was also what he desperately wanted, because he wants to lose her for the last time, and he was like, I'm gonna die anyway, like, because I've been poisoned, I'm gonna die anyway, and the woman I love is dying in my arms. I'm gonna fucking kiss her before she dies. It's just so sweet. I couldn't even I totally forgot that she died. I had like tears in my eyes. I was like,
I remember that she died.
I forgot.
Jubei was really angry. Jubei became like a blender when he got angry. Yeah. This is mowing down ninjas left and right.
It was great though, because that ending just made it so ferocious.
Absolutely, it was great.
I mean, if the girl you loved died in your arms, and this dude just stabbed her in front of you, I think you'd go crazy too, literature devil.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely.
But it just showed that his feelings were there as well. He took her headband. He wore her headband. He actually used the headband to cave the guy's face in.
Headbutt his face. Literally. Not like this boom, really hard hit. I mean, no, he kept doing it over and over until it caved in his face.
Yeah. And it showed like the anime wanted to focus on that thing, like going into that guy's head. Like basically, this is her killing you. Yeah. Fuck you. This is for her. Oh, so good. Oh, there's so many.
Well, this is how stories are supposed to be written. I mean, it's not always have to be brutal and violent and no holds barred like Ninja Scroll is. But I mean, it's supposed to be like this, where it's focused, it has an end goal, a tangible end goal, which is we need to defeat the 8 devils of Kimono, something, whatever it is. And there's a main bad guy, Gemna, whatever it's called. And then
Gemma,
yeah. And then the whole story is about the main characters killing all 8 devils and defeating the main leader. And it was every moment, every minute was them pursuing that goal, and was the plot moving along towards that goal. It wasn't just we need to feel better, we need to be better, or something like that. It wasn't a tangible goal. Be better, Senator. It was a tangible goal of, okay, this guy needs to be defeated. These 8 people need to be defeated, and that's what we're going to do. And then every single moment since then was the main characters pursuing this goal to defeat these 8 people.
And the other thing I loved about it was how the guy with the string died.
Yeah, that was kind of hilarious.
Because she, like the other girl that he kept insulting the whole time, and he was like, I fucking don't like you. Like, fuck you. Get out of here.
If you have a woman who's like a master assassin who loves you, don't insult her so many times.
Yeah, man, don't treat her like shit, because she's a psycho and she's gonna kill your ass. That's what's gonna happen, and that's exactly what happened.
But that's Jubei keeping himself at distance as well, because he too is the Ronin. He too is the lone samurai without a master.
By the way,
that wanders the land.
Speaking of Jubei and his status as warrior, what happens in the very, very beginning of the movie is also what you need to establish as well, and that is
morals.
Well, you establish how competent the main hero is. What's the value of the main hero? And we see how good he is. Like with Luke Skywalker, it's very little, very low value. He needs to learn stuff. Jubei, we realize that he's a master. He has skills and everything. And yeah, we get a hint of his honor, because the thing is, we sold this sword that was a gift to this clan, and we're going to ransom it back to him for 300 row. And he's like, so you only did it for 20 row? And he's like, well, they're a poor family.
The poor family, yeah.
So we get a taste of that honor that he has. It's not complete honor. He's not like Superman or anything, but we get a taste of what honor he does have, and it's kind of like that. I'll accept this job for a very low pay because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
and he doesn't kill them.
No, he doesn't.
So he's not like a reckless murderer. He just humiliates them and dumps them in the river.
Right.
So, but even, I mean, they came across as con men, and yes, they were going to fight Jubei, but you just got the sense immediately that they weren't in his, wheelhouse at all. So he just did what he had to do to dispatch them and humiliate them and maybe give them some pause for thought. And then his main concern is, there's a storm coming and I need to get out of this quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of morals on that section, since we're on it now, he mentioned that he didn't kill them. That is a sense of justice. Like, they're just con men. They weren't really murderers. Yes. They just stole a sword and wanted to ransom it back. So killing them might not be just unless he really, really had to kill them. But I mean,
yes, he didn't.
Because he didn't have to, he didn't. And that's a sense of justice. It's one of the 4 heroic virtues that people kind of or just assign to heroes. Temperance is Superman, constant control. Temperance is a very, very big one, especially with Jedi, but it's another thing entirely. But the sense of justice that he has is, these guys, they're not murderers or psychopaths. They're just con men, right? So, and he has the ability to dispatch them without actually killing them, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, I have a question because I've heard that there's a Ninja Scrolls TV series. Have you guys watched that?
No, but I saw. I have access to it. I think it's on one of the streaming channels somewhere.
Okay, yeah,
I haven't seen a TV series. I've only seen the movie.
I was just wondering if it was good or if it was like even
a really long version of fighting the 8 devils or something.
Yeah,
that's what I would imagine. I wonder if it's the same amount of graphicness though, or like if they toned it down or ramped it up. I don't know. Just wondering if you guys haven't seen it.
Yeah, it is kind of funny seeing all these SJW weirdos just cry about cleavage, and then you watch Ninja Scroll. It's just watch Ninja Scroll or pretty much anything from any enemy from that era, like this. Even Ghost in the Shell would just pop their brains like a balloon. This is great.
There was another one that I watched around the same time as Ninja Scroll that I think I've told you guys about before. It was like totally violent, and I was like, holy shit! And it was it's called 3 times 3 Eyes, and I was like, oh my god, when I watched that, and that was around the same time, and I was like, what is happening? Like, I didn't know cartoons could be this freaking violent. It was so it was drastically different than the usual Disney princesses I was used to.
Oh yeah, very different. Very different.
Yeah, but it's like it's interesting though, because the devils themselves don't particularly get on with each other either.
Not really. They don't really trust each other, because they're devils.
Well, that chick wanted to get it on with the other guy, and he was like, no, fuck you, you stupid bitch, I don't like you. And then she was like, you know what, I've had enough of your shit.
I think he was gay or something. I think
he was gay. Yeah.
Well, he was like bi, because she was like, I've heard you sleep with both men and women, and it was like so taboo. I was like, oh my god.
I thought she was talking about someone else to him.
Oh, was that what it was? Oh, yeah.
She was talking about someone else, the
person that he liked. Yeah.
And she was saying he sleeps with men and women.
Yeah, and he was like,
so yeah, and that's when she got the reaction out of him.
That's actually a trope, by the way. I forgot what it's called. It's kind of I think it's called the deviant bisexual or something like that, where it's like a villainous trope. And he was like, oh, that's sexist. I mean, or that's some sort of phobic. It's not really. Not when you get down to brass tacks. It's basically because of excess. Villainous things are done with excess. And excess pride, excess lust, excess anything is a villainous trait. And that's kind of where it goes. But I can see why people would say it's kind of a something phobic sort of trope, because it tends to make villains, to highlight their villainy. They're bisexual now.
So I can see why. There's a really interesting. Oh, it's a bizarre scene. Not bizarre, but it's disturbing in a way, because she comes back from this attack by the rock guy and obviously the wiping out of all her friends and whatnot, and then she goes to report on it, and the guy's just fucking a mistress. He's just like fucking a geisha from behind while she's giving the report. And they just like stopped a bit to get the report. And then when he's like got the information that he wants and the report's still not over, just goes back to banging this concubine again.
He's like telling her what to do as he's banging that girl. I was like, what the fuck?
And she's like absolutely broken up because of everything that's happened. And grape
whole
and
squad is
seeing
dead. She
people
almost
torn
got
apart
raped.
in front of her, and she's just like, and he's just there, not carrying the wheel, banging away, and it's just like, okay, but isn't that the other guy though? Because he said that he's been masquerading as the head of that clan for 2 days now.
But it wasn't 2 days, was it? I thought it was.
It was
longer.
at one point they say that it's only been a day since we've met.
Oh, then
So
yeah, it was that
it
guy.
looks like that he was already, that whole place was already corrupted, and that was actually the villain guy that was just that's why I just didn't care.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I think it was. You're right. I think it was that guy. I didn't really think about it that. I thought it was the regular dude because I thought it was a longer period.
Because when he turns up at the end to the ship, and she's there to give her report, when he stabs her, he says, "I've been masquerading in this body for 2 days now."
Yeah.
That's a good twist. It's a good twist.
Literature Devil, since if this was the first time you saw it, did you think that was going to happen? Because I was when I saw it, I was like, I thought
that was a good twist.
It was a good twist because I didn't think it was going to happen like that.
Which means the ninja was sent into a trap.
Yeah, mechanically they set up really well. So that the old guy was like, because we all hate the old guy because he's kind of a jerk. So the old guy's like obviously lying. He's like, oh, we're not going to get any help from that clan, because she sent out the message to her clan, because she doesn't actually work for the shogun. She works for a small family. And then the old man works for the shogun, and Jubei is just on his own as a Ronin. But she sent out off to the family, and of all we've seen, the Chamberlain guy is the guy who just sent ninjas, but then he was very cautious. He's like, oh well, maybe we shouldn't get involved because it's a small family. They can't really do much, especially not against these major killers. I mean, what kind of access do they have? I mean, but anyway, the history is the history. But and then they said about, we're not going to get any help from this clan. We're on our own. And then she's like, oh, they will help. They will help. They will send reinforcements, because she's so sure. And then right when we see all the men, just stealing all the gold and putting it on the ship, and then it's like, oh, it's hopeless. And then boom, twist. The cavalry's arriving, and it's like, oh, in your face, old man. And she was right the whole time. And then boom, it's like, oh, we have the place surrounded. And then the ninjas kind of surround them, and then it's like, oh no, maybe now it's time for attack, but at least we have some help now. And then she gets stabbed, and they cut away. They come back later. They come back later, and it turns out the guy stabbed her. It's like, okay, maybe he cut a deal. But no, it was the main bad guy the whole time. It was a good twist because it was set up really well. It was basically, it was like a magician's trick. The magician is like draws your eye somewhere else and the trick can happen. That's exactly what they did, but that's what it looks like writing wise. It's really, really good. Where we have, it's the focus is on, are they going to arrive or are they not going to arrive? We know the Chamberlain is there, and then they do arrive, and then boom, it was actually somewhere. The focus was actually something else the entire time. The bad guy had actually infiltrated the ranks, killed the main bad guy, and had lured them all into a trap. It was really well done.
Yeah, because when they showed up, I didn't think they were going to show up either, because I thought the old guy was right. I thought that what he was saying made complete logical sense. If you're a small clan at the time, you don't want to get involved between the government and two giant clans that are duking it out, because your clan's just going to get destroyed. So you just want to kind of sit this one out. And then I thought to myself, when they showed up, I was like, oh, they showed up, so they're there to help. That's really honorable, but they're probably all going to get slaughtered. Let's face it, because all the eight whatever demons or whatever were there, so they were all going to get slaughtered anyway. And I was thinking, well, that's an honorable way to go though, if you're there knowing that you're going to get slaughtered. And I was like, oh man, I feel so bad for her. She's going to watch her whole clan get slaughtered again, and then all of a sudden she died. And I was like,
oopsies.
Oh, this is even
considering where she got stabbed, she kind of lived for quite a while after she got stabbed. She got stabbed in the heart or something.
No, it's it kind of come in the side, through
side,
kidney and liver, maybe.
Yeah.
She lived quite a while. Good thing too, because you got to have a kiss.
Yeah, you gotta have that nice.
Yeah.
And,
which you don't ever have anymore. Have you guys noticed that? You
it's
never have these long dramatic moments of
Well, no, he would, if it was 2022, Jubei would kneel beside her and tell her that he's in love with her brother
or something.
Oh my god.
Or
she would be a man.
Jubei would confess his love to her, and she would like, no, I don't like you that way.
Yeah.
Or she would be a man, and he'd be like,
You're
"Oh, I
just
love
a
you so
friend.
much."
She'd be a lesbian. She'd be like,
Yeah.
just like have a girlfriend.
Okay, so Jubei would be a girl, so it would be like she's a lesbian with whoever Jubei is.
We've basically just gone through modern day in a nutshell.
I'm telling you, man, that grape scene though, holy fuck.
That would definitely not be in there.
And then there was another one too when the other guy captured her, and then he like her fucking leg was like this, and then he like sticks his fingers.
Well, he has a controller somehow. Come on.
I was like, damn.
He has to be able to control her somehow.
She gets some pretty rough treatment.
I was like, dude, like it's like it was all the time.
But I mean, yeah, okay, this is supernatural, so the way that they do stuff, okay. But if you think about it, in those kind of times, if just for argument's sake, not I think they would, but let's just for argument's sake say there was a female ninja and they were captured. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck.
For realsies.
I mean, it wouldn't really work with her because,
just good luck with that one.
You touch her, you die. I mean, with her anyway.
Well, yeah, in this reality, well, it depends. What this whole thing about the poisons is because never mind. But yeah, but it was like when she is being controlled and when she's fighting Jubei, and Jubei, of course, is trying to find the puppet master to get rid of them. So he's having this 2-on-1 fight almost, with not trying to hurt her, but at the same time, trying to kill the demon, the devil, and then she stabs him right through the forearm, which is got a smart. Before her blade. But yeah, before he
that was another heroic aspect to him, right? Because like the fact that he even went back for her, like, you know, he went for the girl, like he didn't go for the mission. Like he was like, you know, I'm going to go and rescue the woman I love. Like, even though that old dude was like, you're a fool,
really angry. Yeah.
Don't go. And like, you know, all this stuff. Like, it was just like, you know, the boat's going to be here. That's the main mission.
Like, I don't care about the mission. I don't care if I die. I want to save her life. Yeah. That's what he wanted. He put her life over his own, essentially.
Yeah,
it's so weird seeing heroicism in current
honor,
day.
Right?
Isn't that so weird?
It's my brain.
Not like pretend I'm going to march in the streets and shout about nonsense kind of heroism. I mean, like actual honorable heroes.
Yeah, like the guys, like the ones that, you know, chivalrous men who would risk their lives.
Not crybaby soy boys.
Yeah.
No. This wasn't a deconstruction of a hero. This was a guy with a very specific moral compass and code.
A straightforward hero, not a deconstructed one.
And how we used to like him.
The other thing that I really wanted to talk about is again, as with all classic animes, obviously the animation style and everything is so beautiful. Like the way they set up certain scenes, like when it's like dark and stormy and you see the ninja or the guys on the horse just like heading to that village, like, and the only times you ever see them is with the light of the lightning flashing, and just so many different moods like that this thing takes you through. And then of course the music, like you're like, oh my God, it just captures you in every way, like all your senses visually, like your audio, your, you know, visuals, like everything is just like just encompassed. Like you're like, oh, okay, I'm in this world, I'm in this shogun weird era with these weirdo ninjas that what the fuck is this, like some sort of supernatural ninja shit.
Everything about Ninja Scroll reads like American Pulp, the way the American Pulp would be written. I mean, if you ever listen to like an editor who did Pulp, that's exactly how it's always raise the stakes, get more extreme, more visceral and everything. That's what they did with Ninja Scroll, with even down to the images with a dead horse head and all the bodies in the village and everything. They did everything there was meant to really awaken your senses, and that's kind of how they write. That's how they demanded people write during the Pulp era. I mean, there's like an editor like, okay, we got a haunted house, and there's like a evil monster in there. He captured the girl, and he's torturing her. He's torturing her, and then you got to find him. Some guy gets beheaded, and some guy gets run through by a spear. You know, we want all these big, hard-hitting images. And raising the stakes where you think something good has happened. It's not good. It's not good. Okay. And then it gets worse and worse and worse. More grief, more obstacles. And then the heroes, you know, the further the hero goes, the harder it is going to be to achieve victory. But then he does. And at the end, you're rewarded with a hard-won victory, and it feels cathartic.
Mm-hmm.
And like most of these things, it ends the way it began, on his own.
Oh yeah.
Venturing out, like, you know,
and he's got like the thing wrapped around his sword.
He wrapped it around his hilt, the headband now, yeah.
Because she's always gonna be with him. It's so
sad. It had horrendous violence. It had nudity. It had a lovely little love story. It had betrayal. It had all the good stuff. It just had all the good stuff which makes a story fun and interesting.
I wasn't preached to. That was a big bonus.
Well, I mean, look, you know, you go back to 1993. Nobody's preaching shit to you. You know, there's no identity politics going on, and anyone that tries to raise a voice about censorship and everything is just being laughed at in those days. You know, I remember it well. And so yeah, it's a absolute breath of fresh air just to see an artistic vision placed out there, and it didn't have to censor itself. It didn't have to think, oh, will this offend X or will this offend Y?
No, they're going for the opposite of that. They're going for, will it offend? If it will offend them, if yes, we'll do it.
Well, I mean, they definitely put stuff, and you know, they must have thought, this is here to shock. This is here to shock you.
Yeah, and also in Ninja Scroll, they didn't shock you just for shock's sake, like what they do today. Like, oh, we're gonna shock you just because we're gonna shock you. No, the shock moments, like when the guy gets his arms pulled off or something, that is to highlight either character or danger. Because when that guy gets his arms pulled off by that stone guy, it does a lot to show you how absolutely terrifyingly strong this guy is. The threat level again.
Yeah.
God, that was so creepy when he's like drinking the guy's arm. He's like, oh.
Yeah, and then like, I mean, the shocking grape scene actually served to be the downfall of the monster itself because of the poisoning. And then, of course, that guy who had his arms ripped off was used as a puppet later on.
Yeah.
So it's got no arms. Its mouth's been
eyes been gouged out.
Yeah, eyes they've all been sewn up, and it's just like, wow, this is. And of course, she thinks it's him, and it's all a trap to her because that person explodes the puppets that she uses, and you can tell they're a puppet.
Bitch.
Yeah, because she uses it to kill one of the demons. She uses
That's
it
what
to
I'm
kill one
talking
of the
about.
demons at the end.
She was so nuts. I was like, this is what psychopaths do. They eat each other too. So like, you don't want to piss like, you know, the psychopath off.
She was a woman scorned.
Yeah, she was like, fuck this guy. Like,
she's been throwing herself at this guy, and he's just like, you disgust me.
Yeah, you disgust me.
You disgust me. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not into
no woman wants to hear this.
Yeah, so she you know, what's that saying? Something like a woman scorned. Hell hath no fury.
Like a woman
exactly, and she played straight into that stereotype, archetype, whatever.
I kind of like yours better though. Something.
Woman scorned.
Something. Yeah, the woman scorned. Because that's how that one goes down.
We've been seeing that, you know, that mentality in all of our media. All the men are evil and everything. The men are just awful human beings, and all these things are useless or something like that. So we've been seeing scorned women just make all of our favorite franchises die. So
yeah, like Kathleen Kennedy, she was definitely scorned. She was like, I'm gonna fucking kill everything you love.
Yeah, she did that pretty well, which is awesome. Cheers, Kathy.
And she's not done yet.
No, still got 3 more years of, just in case there's any lingering doubt.
Is there, if there's any hope left in you, she will crush it.
Well, I mean, I've moved on from all of that now. I can't even be bothered with it.
Me either. Me either.
So yeah, absolutely freaking spot on, man.
So good. So good.
Let's read some supery duperies. Let's get the audience involved.
Yes, one last thing though, like before we get into it, the only other thing that I was thinking about while I was watching it is I've seen so many animes since Ninja Scroll was first released, and also like really noticing the influence it had on all the artists at the time, because there's so many different aspects of it that you see in other animes, like, you know, that the characters that have been you know, completely like what's not copied from, but like they took ideas, homaged from that, like in Bleach and, you know, Inuyasha, and like there's so many animes that have definitely taken from that completely original content, which was Ninja Scroll. I think that's amazing and something to be noted.
This is 1993 as well. Woof.
Way ahead of its time. Way ahead.
I know. It's good. It's good shit. Yeah.
Good shit.
Good shit.
All right.
Uber Geek with a £5 says the pizza war continues.
Oh yeah.
Who claimed dominion over the toppings? Will pineapple become supreme? Stay tuned for more updates. Yeah, the pizza wars seem to have begun.
Literature Devil, are you for pineapple on pizza or no?
I don't know, because I don't think I've ever had pineapple on pizza.
Oh wow!
So I'll just count you as no.
No,
I guess no for now. No, for now, I guess.
No. We'll class him as to be TBD.
Determined.
I heard that
TBD.
I heard that pineapple on pizza is evil, so I guess I would be for it then.
Because you're a devil. Because you're a devil.
Yeah.
Got him. There
See,
you go.
Mahler said that it's Satan's food.
I guess it is.
Perfect then.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Got two voices here.
Wayland Todd with a £1 super chat. No message, but £1 super chat. Thank you, Wayland. A gaggle of Karens with a £1 fiddy. Hot dog.
That's terrifying.
I know a gaggle of Karens, man. They are awful to get rid of. Demangini, maybe. Demagini.
Thank you.
I can't pronounce shit. With a $2 says, I'll say it again. Pen, paper, and ink aren't sentient.
What? Okay. I don't get it.
It's doing the whole idea of, this is she's a 16-year-old girl, whatever it is. Like they usually get mad.
Yeah.
Usually get mad about fictional characters as if they were real people. Like I once mentioned that, you know, Harley Quinn should be back with the Joker because that's the story of Harley Quinn. Like, oh, how dare you? That's messed up. It's seriously messed up that you would want Harley Quinn back with the Joker. Well, yeah, because that's the story.
The story is he messed her up.
Go back with the Joker. Like Harley Quinn should be back with the Joker. That's her whole story.
Isn't that the whole point, that he keeps fucking her over and she keeps going back to him because she's a doormat and she has Stockholm syndrome? That's the entire point of the story.
It's Mad Love.
It's Mad Love, which is one of the greatest comics fucking ever written.
I've never read
so
that.
Put it back with the Joker. Like she's not Harley Quinn unless she's with the Joker. That's the whole point of her character. So,
don't you want to rev up your Harley?
But no, it's like, oh, you want her to go back with the Joker? Yes, I do. She's not real. Okay, these characters are tools to serve a plot, to serve a story. They're not real freaking people. Yeah. Okay, they're not real.
Yep.
And I think we've seen throughout all the years, she's can't hold a title to save herself. But you know, we can't have whammons on the end of even villains. You know, murderous villains. Can't have them on the end of any of that nonsense. No, go girls! Oh my god!
These are like you know that Darth Vader comic where Darth Vader does something evil, like kill the main character, and everyone got upset. Oh, he killed her.
He killed that woman that was collecting skin samples of him.
It was crazy. But they get angry. They get angry that bad guys do bad things. But
and then they take to Twitter.
And they take to Twitter. This evil, horrendous, genocidal villain did something bad. Oh, really?
Really? Now this shocks me.
They have to be misunderstood now. Literature Devil. They
they do.
People just can't be evil. They have to be misunderstood.
Yeah, I've seen it where it's like it's never because they're actually bad people. It's because the world was forced them to be bad, and they weren't actually bad people. They're just trying to make their way in the world, and it is kind of the oppression just forced them to be bad people. This is not actually the case.
This is why I love stories like Ninja Scroll. Well, the evil guys are just a bunch of fucking evil guys. There's no backstory of how his mom got raped and that's why he's evil now. Like it's not like that. It's just he's evil. That's it. That's his character. He's evil. Done. Move on.
But I guarantee you, when we see the Marvel Echo, when I say we see, I ain't gonna fucking watch it for shit. But when the Echo TV series comes on, when the Agatha series comes back
I'm not watching that shit.
You can almost guarantee that they were the good people who were used and twisted, and Echo is going to be a product of the Kingpin, blah blah blah. There's going to be a man most likely somewhere in that coven.
Usually, if they're like an evil female character, either female villain, it's always because they're evil because of a man messed them up or a man wronged them. They even did that with Maleficent. Like, she was a good fairy until the evil knight who would become king cut off her wings and stuff like that. So if it's a female villain, it's usually because a man turned her evil. Because men are evil, and women are just good unless a man gets involved.
I so hated that Literature Devil, because Maleficent was one of my favorite all-time villains in Disney history.
She was awesome. All the powers of hell. She was awesome. She turned into a dragon. It was great. She was a great villain.
Good.
101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, Cruella de Vil.
She was just evil. She was just really, really.
But
evil.
not in the Cruel Devil. Yeah. But in her origin story, it's just like, she's just misunderstood. Her parents got murdered by Dalmatian. I'm just like, fuck off.
Everyone's just misunderstood now. Everyone's actually a good person.
I was like, no.
She just had a vision of designing, but then her parents were evilly killed by the nasty Dalmatians.
Maleficent should have been a tragedy. It should have been her being evil and then dying at the end. That's kind of what should have been.
But they're women, so they can't be. Epstein's ghost with a $5 says Devil Man and Alucard are also great. Hail to as your guest on chat.
Isn't there more than one Alucard? It's like Alucard from Helsing and Alucard from Castlevania.
Yeah, there's so many Alucards.
Which Alucard?
Which Alucard are we talking about?
Pick
Although
one.
I do like them both.
Yeah, I like Castlevania one's pretty dope until he got weirdly raped. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening right now?
Get back on the anime. Fuck Marvel.
Yeah, that's.
I hear you, Yellow Flash.
Did you see that? Hi, Yellow Flash. Did you see Castlevania?
No.
Oh.
I saw the first few seasons of it. It was pretty good.
Do you remember the time that when he got raped?
You mean Dracula? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, Alucard, his son.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, yeah, you haven't gotten there yet then. Because he does, and that part is really awkward. I was like, why'd they ruin the character? He didn't have to.
I watched until they defeated Dracula, and that's it.
Okay, yeah, that's basically the end of season 2. What I'm talking about is the end of season 2.
After that, I heard it got really weird.
Are you slipping off your box, Nina?
Are
you slipping off your box?
No. What do you mean? Am I slipping off my box? What does that mean?
That lifts you up.
Oh.
A box to sit on to make you look taller.
No, it's just it's a seat.
She's got piles. Lupu with a 50 Mexican says the normies always leave the gate open for the infiltrators. Any hobby that goes mainstream will end up ignoring its OG fans. It always happens.
I hate mainstream everything.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of companies, they'll see an influx of people and they'll be like, oh, now we have much more people to cater to. So they kind of start towing the line and
yeah, it's annoying.
The brightest day with the $5 says pre-2010s anime really separates the men from the soy boys. Yeah,
it does.
Really
It's
does.
a good testament. Like, if you want to find out if the dude you're dating is kind of like a soy boy or whatever, get him to watch Ninja Scroll.
Make him watch Ninja Scroll.
See what kind of reaction you get from him, and then you'll be like, "Oh, okay, I'm dating an alpha or a beta."
oh boy. That could be a really awkward evening.
If he takes to Twitter, you know.
If he takes to Twitter, you're fucked.
I just watched something which was so disgusting.
You guys, I went on a date with this girl, and she would turn out to be alt-right because she made me watch Ninja Scroll and obviously alt-right Nazi dog whistle anime.
Yeah, and she has like internalized misogyny, and I feel so bad for her.
Something cringe like
she
that.
wants me to grape her. I'm not sure. Lupu with a 50 Mexicano again says the pre-2010s manime people need to Roblox themselves because you probably haven't watched a single new show in 2 decades. Touch grass. Wow. Lupu is on the attack there. Buffer T Justice with a $50. Thank you, sir.
Wow.
Says, hey, Ayaz, I was wondering what Kathleen Kennedy's employment status was. Great stream, guys. Has she gone or is she here? Kathleen Kennedy's employment status is queer. She got a contract renewed for 3 years.
Yeah, her status is employed.
So I don't think she's ever going away.
Very employed. Very highly employed. And not going anywhere. Highly well-paid, employed, not going anywhere for 3 years. Fucking up yo Star Wars.
Probably give her a few more trophies, a few more plaques, a few more awards.
Fade in.
Fade in.
Desert Fox with a $10 says, I studied this anime when I was in college. To get my degree in animation. And they used a lot of run cycles, but it works and shows you how to do more with less.
I think I said get my degree in anime. Like it's a degree.
He must have gone to school a long time ago because I don't think they show this kind of stuff in school anymore.
I would be very surprised if they did. Well, just because how woke and far left the education system's gone.
Exactly. You'll get like a bunch of people taking to Twitter in that class.
Oh no, you get the police. They'd be calling the police in the classroom and saying that you have literally like graped me by making me watch this.
Yeah, you graped my eyes by making me watch
so
this.
God, geez, right, just throw them out of windows. Don't matter where they land, just throw them out of windows. Top floor, don't matter. No loss. Wayne the Redneck with a $2 says, hi guys, happy Enterprise Day 1701. True that. 1701. Yeah, nice. Like that. I've never even heard of that before. I like that. Clint Folsom with a $20 says, hail panel, unchat, and happy birthday to the late, great Betty White.
Oh,
who would have been 100 today, folks. This is one of my favorite 90s anime. Another anime starring Elizabeth Barkley, Keith Sutherland, with Bryan Cranston. Armitage 3, The Polymatrix is great.
That's the one I told you to watch last week.
Yeah, I watched this one.
It's 2. It's so good.
John Freeman with a $2, no message, just a $2 super chat. Thank you, John. Andrew Matthews with a £5 says X-Ray and Tugs just need 4 more subs to be monetized on Poor Choices YouTube channel. Come on, folks.
Oh,
850 people here. Jump over to Poor Choices YouTube channel. Do they have? Let's see if I can get a
I'm
a link
right now.
Porsche. There you go. Porsche.
I'm gonna drop it in the chat right now, guys.
Yeah. Please click that link, subscribe.
Yeah,
let's get them over 1,000 subs so they can push towards monetization. Thank you for that, Andrew. Appreciate bringing that to our attention, dude. Let's see what else we got to do. Mr. X with a $2,500 Chilean. Thank you. Back in the mid-90s, anime like Ninja Scroll was unwittingly sold/rented to children and caused a big controversy. Fun times. Oopsies.
Yeah, I remember that kind of happened to me with 3 Times 3 Eyes. And I remember because I went to the video store and I wanted to rent like an anime, and I at the time I wanted Studio Ghibli stuff, like cutesy, like whatever. But the cover looked really cool, so I was like, I'm gonna rent this. And the guy who was like working there, he was like, you can't rent this. This is like 18A or whatever. So you have to have your mom come in. So my mom came in and then she was like, are you sure you want this? This looks kind of like not, right up your alley. Like this is kind of adult. And I was like, yeah, I want it. It's cartoon. Like how bad can it get? I was famous last words.
Wow, were you surprised?
I was very surprised.
It's not as bad. It's just like
it was extreme.
Didn't expect that.
No. I was like, oh my God.
Hey, Chihuahua. Here's an interesting one. This is something I think I'm gonna have to do a video about. Joe Webb with a £2 says Doctor Who's Jodie Whittaker charging £220
Oh yeah.
for autograph and dog tags.
I remember.
I'm gonna look into that. I actually have a video coming out after this stream. So it's going to be up about half an hour or so after this stream at the latest. But that's about Why the Last Man. But I'm going to look into this and get all the details. It's some sort of fan meet, but 220 quid. Jesus Christ. I mean,
why is anyone paying to see her? That's weird.
I wouldn't pay to see her.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'd pay to see. I'd pay to see her. Fuck off.
The people who are paying to see her are the ones that are taking to Twitter to complain about anime.
Taking to Twitter. we gotta take that and just use it as a massive insult.
On the shirt.
Are you gonna take that to Twitter? Huh? I got him some. Oh yeah, the Yellow Flash has just released a video about Nezuko's titties.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm gonna check that out. Got to get my Yellow Flash fix after this. Fourth 1,000 with a $5 says, have you seen the directors of the works Demon City, Wicked City, Midnight Eye Goku push the limits further? No, but I'd like to. I definitely want to.
I've seen Wicked City. It's fucking amazing.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. It's older than this. It's 80.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the other ones.
Leon Arsenault with a $5 says, did you recognize the similarity when Tessai throws his blade and when Thanos throws his blade in Avengers Endgame? Check out Tessai Thanos YouTube. Well, it's the very similar weapon, isn't it? It's a very similar weapon. He's got just 2 blades at the end. Thanos, of course, has those 2 larger blades. So maybe it's a style. Maybe it's a literal martial art style to use with that blade. That type of weapon. I don't know. This is me speculating, by the way.
I don't know. I don't remember Thanos' weapon at all.
Fair enough. Georgie with a 5 Canadian says Ninja Scroll was the second anime I ever saw. Akira was the first way back when it hit VHS. Oh my God. Christ, I'm old, he says. Suggestions from that era, greets from Newfoundland. Well, we did Ghost in the Shell last week. Just a little bit ahead of that, like a couple of years, is of course Cowboy Bebop series. Perfect
Armitage
Blue
is
we
good.
did as well. You like your Armitages?
The other one that's really good is if you like the shonen kind of stuff, Samurai X is really good, and it's a longer series episode, like a episodic thing, and it has
Fist of the North Star.
Fist of the North Star is really good. Trigun is really good. That's like spacey, like futuristic stuff more. So there you go.
Yeah. Now then, D-Day, Direwolf, dropping a little bit of knowledge here. Yeah, I forgot about this. I think, yeah. Okay. So D-Day Direwolf with the $5 says Warren Ellis, who wrote Castlevania. That weirdo took over Castlevania after season 2, got woke since, and that's when Olcart Grape happened. Yeah, I mean, there was the whole business with Warren Ellis. I don't know if you're aware of it all.
I didn't know that. No.
Well, he's he's a comic book writer for a long time, and basically, long story short, women were throwing themselves at him to advance their careers, if and him, he was happy to oblige, but he
got me too. That sucks.
He got me too. Because unfortunately, these women, I don't want to sound off here, but writing a comic and being good is very different than sucking a cock.
I think the lesson here,
the two don't have a commonality.
The lesson that he learned was that if a woman is going to use you to further her career, she's going to use you again. if she can use you again later on with your career. So if that means sleeping with you, then she'll do that. If that means throwing you under the bus, they'll do that. Yeah. So
if she can't get you one way, she'll use you another way.
Be careful, man. Be careful.
Be careful. I'm telling you, psycho women are even more hardcore than psycho men. They're really, really crazy. Psycho women can get really vicious. As this anime showed, they will kill their own friends.
They will eat their babies.
They will.
Osai 5 with a $5 says, I'm so glad indie comics and Comicsgate is taking us back to the 90s. Go back some indie books, people.
Yeah, Dr. Alpha's still available, by the way.
Yeah. Yours is out, isn't it?
Yeah, the printer won't come back to me until February. But
do you have the link? I can drop it in the chat for you.
Oh yeah, the digital version though is available to anyone. It'll just take a little while for me to get the actual physical copies out there still, but here you go, still available.
Where do we get to? Sorry. MK Solid 82 with a $2 says, will Az throw on a V-neck to party with Mr. H? What does that mean?
What? That's weird.
Will Az throw on a V-neck to party with Mr. H?
I think so.
Why do you need a turtleneck to party with Mr. H?
I don't even know Mr. H.
You don't?
No, I've been on one stream with him.
Oh, yeah. I've been.
And that's because it was like on a Midnight's Edge or something. And we were both just shouting at Uche.
Of course you were. That's how I got to know Mr. H, was that insane debate.
Somebody said just say yes.
When he was like making him take his shirt off. And I was like, yes, take it off. And that was like the best stream ever.
Women.
I had popcorn.
So toxic. I've got popcorn in my cupboard.
He was like, turn on your camera. You're a chicken shit. He's like, I don't have a shirt on.
Oh, yeah. God, I remember that. Yeah.
Turn your camera on, do it. And he's like, I'm sitting here in a robe. And I was like, yeah, we want to see.
Yeah, great. I remember that. I remember that. Happy days. Ooh. Brown Cajun with a $5 says there's an AMV where they took the old man and had him sing Ren and Stimpy's Happy Happy Joy Joy. Just another little treasure made by creative fans.
What? I've never seen those.
I haven't seen that, but I can remember Happy Happy Joy Joy.
I can remember that too. God.
D-Day Dadwolf again with another $5 says test. If anyone is beta or alpha, is to watch Ninja Scroll and Berserk.
Yeah.
Aitken from Australia with 8 Australian says that maybe they want an evil to be misunderstood because they want to believe their ill will towards others isn't evil, just misunderstood. I just think the scum. Aitken.
I just think some people are evil, and it's okay to have like that side present because evil exists in our world. Believe it or not, it just.
I think he's talking about like the creators of it.
Yeah, I'm just tired of everyone's
these
misunderstood bullshit. Like that's stupid.
It's because they don't know how to write heroes, dude. That's why they have to deconstruct everything. And of course, it always ends up being fucking patriarchy's fault. I'm so fucking bored.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really deconstruct something unless you know how to construct in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
So what you end up with is just your
you end up with
heroes,
destruction instead of deconstruction.
Just coming across as fucking assholes. But the funny thing is, it's like half the time the people that they're fighting against actually have a point. And then they just go totally against that because they don't know how to. But there you go. Fuck it. Modern fucking industry right now. Jeez. Joe Musashi with a $5 says, as a hardcore Castlevania series, hated the Netflix series. They made
the what series? I didn't hear that.
He says, as a hardcore Castlevania, I think he meant fan, hated the Netflix series.
Oh.
They made Hector. Easy for me to say. Teeth falling out. A wuss in the series. In Curse of Darkness, he's a badass. Play the games.
I played the games. I still like the anime. I thought it was
so it could be as a hardcore Castlevania game series fan, hated the Netflix series. Something on that. I'm just trying to stick in a few words to make it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. That's fair, but I like the Castlevania anime. I actually liked it a lot because it had an ending, and I was like, okay, I can deal with this. It's 4 seasons and it has an ending.
This is weird because that super chats just completely vanished when I refreshed to. Never mind. The Waltman 4 with a $5 says, has anyone in the panel played any of the Super Robot War games? It's tactical RPG of nearly every mecha anime franchise available on Steam.
Oops.
No.
My icon.
No, I don't think so.
Right.
That's fine. We're already demonetized. It's fine. We're demonetized within 2 minutes.
No, I haven't seen it, but I'll be right back.
BRB. Literature Devil? No?
Yes.
Have you?
No, I haven't played those.
Okay. No, sorry, dude. I'm not a massive like mech thing. That's not my kind of thing. Sorry.
The only mech thing I've seen is Gundam and Big O, I think. And maybe Escaflowne. That's about it.
Carlos Batista with a $4 says, has anyone seen Smiling Friends yet?
No, but I heard it was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
People took to Twitter to complain about it, so I assume it's good.
You took to Twitter. Yeah, Gundam. Sorry, not Gundam. Mauler has been watching some of it, and he is speaking very highly of it. Lupu with a 50 Mexican says, check out Shiguri Genku Kasanki and Onihain for more historical type anime. And if you want more of the same, but isekai, watch Drifters. Isekai is the one the video game one, isn't it? It's the MMORPG genre.
It's usually the ones that you don't necessarily have to be MMORPG. This kind of, for some reason, usually are. But it's basically just people going to another world.
Okay.
Like Alice in Wonderland or John Carter of Mars.
Yeah. Alice in Borderland.
Wonderland. Yeah, I guess I don't know.
No, Alice in Borderland. That's a manga.
I haven't seen that one yet. I heard
that's on Netflix. It's really good. I think you'll like it.
I've been recommended before. It sounds pretty good.
It is. I found it highly enjoyable. It was fun. It's like Battle Royale meets Squid Game meets, zapping to another world meets, good story, to be honest.
I do like Squid Game and Battle Royale. Sounds pretty good to me.
Oh, cool. Well, you like the premise. They like zap to an exact version of Tokyo, but it isn't Tokyo. And you have to compete in games in like a specific period of time. So you got like 48 hours to participate in a game. And if you win the game, then you get like time added on. So you get, you don't have to do another game now for 36 hours. And you get I won't say what, but you get a prize at the end of it, which all comes together into something else later on.
If you lose, you die.
And if you lose, you die.
What are we talking about?
He dies. Alice in Borderland.
Oh yeah, I still gotta watch that.
CZ with a £5 says, if you want the sort of men from the Soy Boys, Boy Touches, get them to watch the OVA Angel Cop. I've heard of that.
I've never seen that.
I've heard of Angel Cop, but I haven't seen it. Oasi5 again with a $5 says, it's pronounced ORCV. Okay, there you go. Lols. Also, check out the Veil Walker 2 on Indiegogo. There you go.
There you go. I like that.
There you go on Indie. Rocksteady with a $10 says the Ninja Scroll series is so much more tame. But if you need more, Juby Fix, go for it. And then Lupu with another 20 Mexican said, who treated Castlevania worse, Netflix or Konami? Konami, because it's always fuck Konami. Konami are fucking assholes. They just fuck Konami. Andrew Matthews with a £2 says, is this Fortnite Day in USA? Sure. I don't know. I imagine so. Brightest Day with a $2 says 8th MS team for life. There we go. Right. I think we've concluded our business. Next week, suggestions panel. Is there anything that
I can't be here next week?
Okay.
So I mean, I can suggest something for you guys, but
no, you're going to discuss it. Literature Devil.
I'm actually, I'll give it some thought. There's a lot of stuff out there, though.
Okay. Is it Martin Luther King Day next week?
I don't know.
I don't know. Somebody just said MLK Day. I don't know anymore. Okay, guys, we'll have a think about what to do for next week. Nina, anything you'd like to plug before we go into the great blue yonder?
Yeah, it was. It's always so fun to hang out with you and talk anime. So thank you so much for inviting me. And you can check me out on my channel, Nina Infinity, and just follow me on Twitter to keep up where I will be next. Nina7 Infinity on Twitter. I will be on Midnight's Edge this evening for Toxic Femininity at 8 Eastern. Thank you so much.
Bradley, stay with the $2 says Jin Ro, the Wolf Brigade. Okay,
it's a movie.
And George J with 2 Canadians said, thoughts. Jubei is Clint Eastwood with a katana, yes or no? No, I don't think necessarily Clint Eastwood, but
I think Ito Agami is more like Clint Eastwood. Jubei has more like emotions than usual typical.
Certainly more animated,
yeah,
than a Clint Eastwood. Mm-hmm. Clint Eastwood's like a.
It's very stone faced, like.
Mm.
Yeah.
You lucky punk.
And Andrew Matthews with a £2 says, as it's MLK Day today. Oh, so Fortnite Day. Oh, right. Yeah. Of course. Last year they did it. They had Martin Luther King Day on Fortnite. So it had these like screens in Fortnite where he's given his I had a dream speech. And then the kids go out into the world and shoot each other dead.
I heard that they had that, but they also had like MLK skins, so you could shoot MLK, and it was like really fucking weird.
I don't know if that's the case.
I've never played it.
I don't think that's the case. If it was, it was hilarious in a completely oh my god kind of a way.
Look how good a person I am. I'm MLK. I have the skin. I have the skin.
I'm the second gunman on the grassy knoll.
Oh my god.
Plenty of grassy knolls in Fortnite. Literature Devil, anything that you would like to plug, sir?
Dr. Alpha, my comic book is complete. It's still available on Indiegogo if you want to check it out. I won't have the comics until it's only February because of a paper shortage or something. But I do have the digital version ready to go. So if you back it in any level, I'll just send you the digital copy like almost immediately as soon as I find out that that you backed it already. I'll get the email.
Lovely.
I just put the link in the chat again, guys. So back Dr. Alpha.
Good stuff. Moo Butt with a $5 says next week, Peaky effing Blinders. Is that the final season?
Blinders.
Peaky fucking Blinders, mate. Thank you, everyone who stopped by to watch today. Massive thank you to my mods for doing your wonderful moddiness. Purple Valkyrie, Jennifer there. Everyone who hit the super chat button, thank you very much indeed for supporting the channel. And everyone who hit the join button, thank you very much indeed for supporting the channel that way. We might or might not be back next week, depending on who's available then. But we'll be back within a week or two with some more awesome anime to discuss. So until then, you take care. Have a great rest of your day. I've got a video coming out in about half an hour on this channel. So come back and watch that. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.